Melling, Melling Engine Parts, Mark Melling and Brendan Melling. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Really
well.
Yeah. Nice to see you back here.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised I hadn't been here for a while, and now I'm twice in 6 months.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm feeling like a real regular all of a sudden.
Well, lots of reasons to have you here. We've got, big anniversary this year.
Yeah, we've got another, we just kind of keep zooming along and piling them up. So another anniversary. We always like to celebrate those anniversaries in the summer, and this summer we've kind of ratcheted up. Usually it's an internal thing, and this summer we're kind of making it a little more of a public event,
Cool.
and we're kind of having a little fun with it this year.
We should have these guys here for Father's Day.
I know we did a Father's Day episode. Yeah,
Oh.
you guys would have been great. That would have been awesome. Fifth generation.
Yes, sir.
Getting ready to finish up at school, and you're exploring the industry. Tell us a little bit about what it's like in the business.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a really exciting business. I can't say enough of how much I'm grateful to have my dad. He's just a tremendous asset. He's taught me so much, and I do enjoy the business. I think that the automotive business is exciting, and I see a future in it. And part of why we're doing what we're doing on Monday is to promote that future and to keep all the talent and all the people in Jackson that work in the automotive industry, keep them employed and have them a job.
Yeah, Mark, let's talk about the manufacturing industry here in town, and with proposed changes by 2032, it affects so many people right here in Jackson, Michigan.
Yeah. So we're having an event on Monday. We're calling it the Cars Show.
Yeah.
It's kind of a play on Tim Wilberg's Choice in Automotive
Retail
Sales Act.
Okay.
We're kind of supporting that. Tim sponsored that bill and pushed it out there to say, hey, let's not limit what is going to be available. Because in 2032, you're going to have a choice of your electric vehicle and your electric vehicle if the people in Washington have their way.
Right.
So, or some of the people in Washington have it their way. So, it takes the EPA standards so tight that I think only there's one or two hybrids today that would qualify, and everything else would have to be an electric vehicle. So we just think that the government's trying to pick winners here. There's a lot of things going on. There's internal combustion, hydrogen vehicles that Toyota's been working on. There's synthetic fuels. There's all sorts of different technologies. But somehow the government's saying it's going to be an electric vehicle or nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not how we come up with the best ideas.
Well,
the marketplace comes up with the best ideas, and
Right.
we don't want to limit it to one technology because we think there's a lot of growth yet to go in the internal combustion vehicles. So, we have, obviously, this is what we do at Melling. We make a lot of engine parts. We have a lot of car sponsorships. We have a lot of local sponsorships. And so we're just kind of, next Monday, we're just celebrating the cars. We've got our drivers coming. We've got all of these cars out. We're just going to open it up, and we're going to let autographs be signed. We've got 4 NHRA drivers coming. Our 6-time world championship driver, Erica Enders, is going to be there. Yep. It wasn't that long ago that she was actually ranked ahead of Max Verstappen, like earlier this season by Racer Magazine. It was like,
that's awesome.
How are the drivers, the hot drivers in the country? And it was, I think she was first or second, and Max Verstappen in F1 was right behind her, and I kind of got a chuckle out of that. I thought,
awesome.
hey, little companies can have some fun in the big world of racing.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing, and we're just trying to have a lot of fun with it.
Everyone's invited?
Yeah. So the public are invited. It's a first come, first serve in terms of space. But we do invite everyone to bring their classic cars, their hot rods, whatever they want to bring and show off, they can. And the really cool thing about this event is we are doing a crew member for the day giveaway. So yourself and a guest, you're going to have 2 tickets. You're going to get your name on an NHRA car. You're going to get starting line access. And this is all going to happen at the 70th Annual U.S. Nationals. So
that's sweet.
It's
so
a really cool opportunity, and if you would like to join, you can register at the Cars event on Monday.
Brendan, are you following the family tradition and getting behind the wheel of a race car?
I have attempted this, yes. I unfortunately took a little spin and put our Copo Camaro in the wall last summer. But it is now fixed,
Yeah.
and now the next hurdle is finding time to get to the racetrack.
What's that
So-
conversation like with Dad when you put that into the wall?
Well, it was more like with Mom.
Oh,
and saying, do we really need to be doing this?
Yeah,
But no,
right.
it's a really fun, and the thrill of going 160 miles an hour is something that's quite incredible.
Yeah, even Dad took a little grief on that one. I just was like, how am I going to explain this? But it's a really safe car, and it's going to be out there on Monday. So
Perfect.
it's fixed. It's going to be back out there. And I did tell him that I've seen over the years when we're in the NASCAR series, I watched a lot more expensive cars get loaded up on the back of trailers. So
sure.
I understood. And when you get into this event, that's a risk. So, but
Yeah, you gotta break some eggs to make an omelet.
there's a lot of things I can go with that. I believe. Yeah, some scrambled eggs or something. Too.
Let's talk how close 2032 is, and
Yeah.
let's just say is this realistic?
Well, the people in Washington think it's realistic, and that's what I found when Brendan and I went there. It's a very, as I think everybody realizes, there's a really young group of people that are running our country that are the staff of the congressmen and women and the senators. And sadly, what I found is, there's a lot of them that don't even own vehicles. So they don't really even, they live in Washington, they make a commute on the metro, and so they don't understand the car culture. I mean, even one meeting I was with, for, I'm not going to say which area was, but they had no idea about what the Woodward Dream Cruise was. The Woodward Dream Cruise is an iconic Michigan event, and they were like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Because we were talking about our car culture.
Right.
So we just want to promote, if you love cars, if you love working on cars, you like working on your engines, and you don't want to have a rolling computer on wheels in the future, then I think you need to make your voice known, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Is we're just supporting the bills that hopefully say, let's let the market decide. Let's not go over regulation. Let's have racing. Let's have car shows. Because they would love to get rid of all these things. The people in California, particularly.
Well, I will
they
never
hate engines.
well, yeah, of course, it's all electric. I will never go car shopping with you if the only choices are electric vehicles.
Well, I would not buy one.
Yeah. So what are people? Yeah. What
Well,
are people going to do? We need to continue to service these vehicles that are
Well, they
on
will
the
keep
road.
fixing them, but thankfully we have parts for that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
The big three, they're not selling them. I mean, they've got a backlog of electric vehicles, and the American surveys on whether they accept or will buy electric vehicles is the majority. So it's kind of surprising there's such a push.
There's a place for them too.
For sure.
So let that market be there.
Right.
But why over
Why
push it?
eliminate?
You're right. Most people don't want it. It doesn't make a ton of sense from what are the resources that we have in the United States versus what does the Chinese have for resources? Well, they've got all these resources for the batteries. So of course they're going to want the battery vehicle. So and then the trade imbalance will be even worse because we need to buy all our
paying more for all of
cobalt
it,
and rare earth minerals from China. And boy, that doesn't seem like a great idea to me. So I think we just need to have a very nuanced, common sense, let the market decide approach to that particular issue. And again, we love cars, so come on out and help us celebrate cars that are around and with engines, and we'll have a lot of fun.
Your nephew, my grandson, wears Melling on the
That's
back of his hockey jersey.
right.
Just one of the many things that you sponsor in the community. It's Jackson. It's important for you as a company and a family to be part of the sponsorships.
If you look at Jackson, there's a lot of people that make a lot of things that go into an internal combustion vehicle, whether it's a transmission or engine, and and I think a lot of those companies are good community, good corporate citizens. They sponsor these things. Like we've got, obviously we've loved the hockey for a long time. We think that's great. We help with Robbie LaFear and his fishing expeditions, and Brad Lamberson and his sprint car. So I mean, we try and get behind some of the local people.
Robbie
and
doesn't have
sponsor.
an electric boat, does he?
He does not have an electric boat, no. And he's going to be there at the show, and people would say, why do you have a boat at a car show? Well, he tows it with a very nice truck.
I bet.
So
Yes.
it's well wrapped, and that's part of what's going on here. Is he can't pull that boat
Can't
to
get to-
Tennessee with an electric
No,
vehicle.
you cannot get to
No.
Alabama
Yeah.
or Tennessee.
And you
Yeah.
can't.
That's crazy.
The planes, you can't have electric planes. It's the
Don't get me
thousands
started.
of flights every day. What, in terms of emissions and burning carbon fuel, there's no discussion about that. I mean,
It's
We go
very
on
it's a
forever.
very interesting. I mean, never like even if you. This is the other interesting point is like when you buy a brand new electric vehicle, that already comes with about 50,000 miles equivalent of carbon that a regular internal combustion engine hasn't had. So you're almost pulling your carbon footprint forward a little. Yes, it's better in the long term, but it is so intense to make the vehicles, the battery vehicles, are actually pulling forward your carbon footprint. But no one really thinks about that. Yeah, long run, it's a little bit better for sure.
Yeah.
But there's just so many things to it, and all we're just saying is let the market decide. We're smart people. You guys decide what makes sense for you in your life.
you brought along a graphic that shows kind of the economic impact when you look at just the congressional district that Tim Walberg represents and that Melling is in physically. That's billions.
Yeah, no, it's when you really look at it, and I mean, engines and drivetrain is a huge business, and it's just not for the OEs; it's for the aftermarket. People love working on their vehicles, so if you love working on your vehicles, we want to allow you to keep doing that. There's been a lot of that is part of our culture is the U.S. and this area is we build parts that go into internal combustion vehicles. So it is, especially the performance side of the business, is a lot of fun. It's a good industry. It employs a lot of people. Again, I think when you look at a vehicle that has 80% less parts, I call that 80% less opportunities for jobs.
Right.
And that's what, but that's. So
We should go over there. And can you teach us, because Andy and I, neither one of us know how to change the windshield washer fluid.
Well, maybe we go beyond. Maybe we go beyond that.
Okay, the oil. I don't think, I've tried it once.
How about we just mess with the engines?
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay.
Actually, yesterday, it was surprising. I saw a car by the side of the road with the hood up. I haven't seen that in years. It's like what the person probably doesn't know. I guess that's an
They
international.
may not have changed their oil.
Yeah, that's probably what it
Yeah,
was.
that's it. But it's like, it used to be the international.
Yeah, you had your hood up.
Distress that's
Yeah.
saved me. But
Yeah, you don't see that much
well,
anymore.
the electric cars, they don't even have. Do they?
No.
There's nothing under there. Storage.
I don't know. I haven't really
not sure.
I haven't looked that close, to be honest.
All right, thanks to you guys for being downtown every month, sponsoring our car shows.
Yeah.
Downtown Jackson, thanks for that. So that's fourth Friday of every month. We must have one coming up.
We do.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I know the team likes coming down. Again, we're celebrating the car culture, and I know a lot of people love it, right?
Yeah, they
I
do.
mean, there's a lot of people growing up fixing their cars, playing with their cars, so that's exciting. So anyways, so besides Erica too, I just want to say this last weekend, one of our other drivers, Aaron Stanfield, he won at
Awesome,
the NHR
congrats.
event. So we got a 6-time world champion and the most recent event champion that are going to be in town on Monday.
Awesome, and that is on Monday. Thank you guys so much for being with us today.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Mark Melling and Brendan Melling from Melling Engine Parts and the Melling Supports Car Show coming up on Monday. More of the show after this quick break.